Well, south of the video store is a song called Off Our Souls. With Andrew and me and a friend Cody, we're gonna rank some funkin' songs. We're gonna rank them funkin' songs. Longest list in the whole damn town. Longer than old King Kong. Meaner than the junkyard dog.
That doesn't give away anything for this episode.
It's absolutely a hint at something.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you know how to play guitar because I don't know how to fucking play this thing.
I mean, you tried to join this time. I appreciate it. You know.
I didn't even try.
You participated. You did as much as Super Bowl halftime performers did, and they get paid like more than $10.
They get paid nothing. All right, guys, welcome back. It's a new season of Like 500 Stones, as we are so affectionately calling it this season Off Our Stones.
Yeah, it was surprisingly a debate between off and on. But yeah.
The more and more I think about it, the more and more I might regret this. But basically, what happened is Brooklyn and I both made our own personal top 500 songs of all time list. We did the math, and for all of the songs that we both had on our list, they automatically made the list. All of the songs that were not on both of our lists, but one of our lists, the highest ranked ones that fit the rest of the 500 are going to make the list. But guys, how are you going to decide what one ranks? Well, we've got a Cody Newberry to help with that. Hey, buddy. How's it
going? Hello. I'm excited. I've been known as judge, jury, and executioner in these parts for a long time. Now I'm in the video store doing the exact same thing. So this should be fun.
Yeah. So for those of you at home, just so you know ahead of time, we're going to go through 20 songs. 10 songs being mine, 10 songs being Brooklyn's. We're going to argue about roughly a minute and then 30-second rebuttal. Cody, however, is going to be the main decider. It's not going to be a group effort. It's just going to be Cody. Because we are biased. And we can't have that for a top 500
absolutely
list.
Biased.
And to be fair, like some people say I'm attention whore and I like to make things all about myself, and that's very true. But I did approach you guys at the end of last year's when you did that, and I said, you two should make this list. And now you've made this list. So it should be I should be the one cutting the list apart.
So this is your fault, essentially, what's going to happen.
Correct.
It's his little monster that he made.
However, we have a side bet going on. So Cody is going to pick which song goes higher on the list.
It's basically who is Cody's more favorite child, who did better at picking the songs.
Yes.
And I know nothing. I just know 20 songs are going to be just talked about tonight. That's all I know. I don't know who picked what.
Well, we do, and we will reveal them pretty much after every round. However, whoever Cody puts their song highest the least amount at the end of this run will have to not only watch a movie of their opponent's choosing, but a 20-song playlist that will be their only source of music for an entire week of their choosing. This should be fun. All right, boys.
Oh,
go ahead.
You also have given me a gift through this series. Do you want to
that's right.
My gift?
Yes. Cody. Oh, go ahead, Brooklyn. You explain it.
Yeah. So basically, as a thank you for Cody for doing this and giving his critique and whatnot, he gets to steal from Big Brother the golden power of veto. So at a so a certain amount of times throughout the list, I believe it was 10 that we had agreed upon.
Yes.
He is going to have opportunities where we pair songs, and if he doesn't like either of the songs, he then gets to be like, all right, I am taking the worst one off and I'm replacing it with a song that I feel is more appropriate for the 500 list. That then gets to rank higher than the previous song. And he gets to do this, like 10 times. So he's going to break some hearts. I'm going to be sad at some point. He's probably going to take off some fucking Canadian song. But that's the way it is. It's the way life is.
When is the last week or time frame that I can use my golden power of veto? That was I don't think we can discuss that off call. I'm not using it probably tonight anyway, so we'll talk about that off call and decide. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think we have a ballpark for sure.
Yeah. And one more thing before we get started. This is the video store after all. So buy our shit. All right. So let us start with the songs that are going to be number 500 and 499 on our list overall. Night Swimming by REM versus Money by Pink Floyd.
Not the bottom half I thought was going to be. So, okay.
Brooklyn, you start us off. Give us a brief opening argument for your song.
So Money basically helps fit the dystopian kind of nature that Pink Floyd often has with their songs. The Wall record in particular, but this one coming off of their best album, The Dark Side of the Moon. It's just a funky, complex song. It's not in that traditional common time. There is a very good bass riff on this that's just constantly going. The sax solo in this is great, and it's just quirky enough that it needs to be on here among a couple other Pink Floyd songs.
And with Night Swimming by REM, this song just really captures the emotion of remembering your youth. It is just a gorgeous, luscious piece to listen to, with the piano and the strings beautifully blending together with Michael Stipe's vocals, and just the earnestness of the lyrics just really create this gorgeous emotional resonance that it's not captured by a lot of other songs. In Brooklyn, rebuttal time.
So if I wanted to listen to a man in the 90s play piano to some very soft and pretty music, I'd go listen to Elton John. This is REM's impression of that style. It's good. I like it, but if we're going for this, kind of like subgenre of pop, there are better to be explored. And even with REM itself, I think this is the one of the more interesting choices.
This is arguably Pink Floyd's safest song. It is arguably the safest song that they ever made. And this is Pink Floyd, one of the most wildly experimental, psychedelic, prog rock kind of bands. And this is a song that sounds like it could have been made by Hall & Oates. This song could have been made by literally anybody. And I would not have been able to tell you exactly that it was Pink Floyd. So, don't give me that face. Don't give me that face. You know I'm right. However, go. You got something else to say? Go ahead. I'll let you have the floor.
No, I don't have anything else to add here. To be honest with you, this is kind of close.
Because I'm right. So. Don't. However, Cody may have a completely different opinion. Cody, which of these songs is the better song and most deserving of a higher ranking?
So both have faults for me. One, I've definitely heard Money before this. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it's one overall 6 minutes too long. It's just too long of a song. It plays out. I love how they set up the song and it's all the money sounds and forms into them playing. So I like that part. Night Swimming, is like remembering your youth, but also like if a whiny person told me to remember my youth for a while, because it sounds like the Fray almost, like a little bit, like you're just like whining.
Oh, hold on. That's
I'm not
so
saying same.
disrespectful.
I'm not saying same talent. I'm not saying the same. But it's something like I would remember, like how to save a life, not swimming. Like it's pretty close overall. I'm
What
going
if I
to
told you
for
a Frey
this.
song almost made my list?
That I'm fine with Frey. I don't think Frey's bad. You know, we all experienced with eyeliner at one point in our days, and you know, thought we were gonna like revolt against our parents and kick them downstairs. Listen, at that point, I'm not the judgment. I was a Yankee. So my choice. So I pick which one I think is high, right?
Yes.
Overall, if I had to pick a song that I would listen to more, it's going to be "Money" by Pink Floyd. I think "Money" by Pink Floyd. Like just alone, money. I did that throughout the house this week a lot. So
I want a recording of that. I just want
money!
video evidence.
And I kind of wish that like Shane McMahon and WWE would have came out to "Money" from Pink Floyd now instead of. I do like "Show Me the Money," but it's yeah. Wild that this is the very first pairing because there's some songs on here, guys. I am really confused. But just to be fair, just for the people, this is now 500 and this is 499. But on Brooklyn's list, "Money" by Pink Floyd was 311 and "Night Swimming" was 309 for you. Wow. Okay, yeah. Interesting. That's fair.
Yeah.
On to the next.
On to the next one. All right, so the next pairing, which would be number 498 and 497, are "Careless Whisper" by George Michael and "Slide" by Missy Elliott. Cody is dying inside. All right, I'm gonna start.
I tried to put these pairings together all day long. Like, what could be up against each other? "Slide" and "Careless Whisper" never met the bracket. It was never the bracket ever.
All right, I'm just gonna start my argument by going. Greatest sax line in a song ever. It is so smooth, but it juxtaposes the heartbreaking lyrics that George Michael and his angelic vocals deliver on this song, which is honestly a kind of sad and brooding song about feeling guilty about cheating on your lover to the point where you may never dance again. It is this incredible blend of sensual vocals and instrumentals versus heartbreaking lyrics that is delivered in this beautiful sandwich of a song.
Oh,
yeah, I used the sandwich argument against you, Brooklyn. Your turn.
So, "Slide" by Missy Elliott is one of the many examples of the great pairing between her and Timbaland, and just the beats that he's able to make around her. This fulfills the qualities of a great hip hop song because the beat just fills out that low bass, the high bend in the guitar, and then on top of an already great beat, you have one of the best lyricists in Missy Elliott that has this swagger with a smile. Like she has fun. She has fun poking at people. Like the lyrics that get to me every time is "Teeny weeny, now you hate me like you hate to eat your Wheaties." It's like she's basically saying like, you know that I'm good, but you hate to accept the fact. And is not afraid to call out celebrities. Like, I don't mean to sound too petty, but they used to call me fatty till I got with Puff Daddy. Like, just the way that rolls off the tongue and just the groove that this has. But I'm gonna get off to Andrew for his rebuttal.
Yeah, here's the thing. "Slide" by Missy Elliott, I don't ever remember, to be honest with you. The one thing I remember is the beat. The beat, great. I don't remember Missy's delivery on this. I don't really remember the lyrics on this. And it feels like half a song. I will say Missy is one of the best, but this is one of the ones where it's good, but it's not great.
3 words: slide, dip, shake. It's all she needs for that chorus. For "Careless Whisper," What I am going to say though, what is the bridge necessarily doing in terms of adding quality to the song? Everybody is kind of taking a break, and it's basically just George Michael being like, "Now that you're gone," and it's like on top of everything, basically just the sax line, and that's all that you have.
He's letting the moment resonate. He's letting the moment sink in, you heartless bastard. I swear to God, I hate you so much sometimes. Cody, I'm not even going to continue on with this. What do you like? You obviously have one. I hope.
So I thought it was interesting again. When I saw Careless Whisper, I laughed really hard. Because like and not that it's bad, but I'm like, I'm never gonna dance again. Like it's been like one of those meme songs for a long time. And then when I saw Slide by Missy Elliott, I said, whoa, somebody went like, and Brooklyn already said it, but slide, dip, shake. That's all you get. The whole problem with this song is I don't know anything coming. Like they didn't send me a master list. I didn't even look at playlist 2 at this point, so I don't know what's coming even. But my thing is this the only song by Missy? Like, I don't know if that's true or if it's not true. If this is the only song by Missy, I'm concerned. If this is the
We're
only
not going
song,
to reveal that at this moment.
That's fair. So on this, I think both had songs. I don't think Slide is that great of a song, to be honest with you. I think the beat and everything around it, I think I do like the way she like says, like, the Wheaties line is very good. Puff Daddy, they used to call me Fatty until I got with Puff Daddy. I like that part, and I like the beat. But I think she shows off in more songs over that. So I would have to put Careless Whisper, just for that iconic opening, higher than Slide, which might be the whitest move I've ever made in my life, is putting Careless Whisper over Slide. But
I don't know. There's a lot of mayonnaise coming up in the next little while.
Lots of help.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, these are I thought these were going to be like the last few ones to decide on these other ones, but all right.
All right, but with that, Careless Whisper is put at number 497 on the list, and Slide by Missy Elliott is number 498 on the list. We will come back to these later at the end of the show, so people can yell at us in the comments section like they probably arguably should. All right. Let's move on to one that I have no idea how this is going to work out in Cody's eyes. The fact that some of these are higher than
this is going to go.
Oh, okay. Well, 496 and 495. The Harder They Come by Jimmy Cliff versus Tequila Sunrise by the Eagles. This is the greatest idea we've ever had.
One of these.
Oh, I'm just going to give Brooklyn the point now. Go ahead, Brooklyn, you start.
So Tequila Sunrise is the best song to sit on your porch on like a Sunday morning. You may not necessarily have a Tequila Sunrise with you, but you're taking in the day. I go to the bridge in particular when it's a take another shot at courage, wonder why the right words never start. You just get lost. The harmonies that the Eagles have in this are just very soft and dainty. The mandolin solo has just a nice kind of flair to it, and that fits just that Eagles vibe overall. It's a very soft and relaxing song, and I think it's obviously one of the best in this kind of style.
Okay, so The Harder They Come by Jimmy Cliff, you hear like the weariness in Jimmy Cliff's delivery on this song. Like, this is a man who's been beaten down, the system is against him, and like everyone tells him that he's not going to succeed in anything. Like that everyone could, like, you're stuck where you are. And it's a very hopeful song, even with this weariness. The harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all. So basically, any like trouble that is going to come his way, he's going to take it on, just with an elegance and grace that the smoothness and relaxed feeling of the instrumentals support the lyrics with. It's just a fantastically delivered song. Jimmy Cliff is just a really talented singer when it comes to not explaining, but basically showing you the emotion behind the words that he's written.
Okay. So my rebuttal for this would be, and I'm going to keep it short. I think this has a missed opportunity in putting in some emotion. I think it's a bit too fast, especially when you have that such impactful chorus. The harder they come, the harder they fall. One and all, it's a very kind of like come together, which is basically what reggae is. And I just think it's a B plus, when I think everything here should be at least an A.
This is absolutely an A. This doesn't even crack the Eagles' top 10, in my opinion. The Eagles have such an expansive catalog that there are other songs that you also did not include that should be way higher than this. You didn't even have
Yes.
Desperado higher than this. So I picked arguably the best song from my person. You didn't even pick one that's in the top 10 of your act.
Objection, Your
Anything
Honor.
else to add?
There's objection. Like you can't say that like this is, you have this song here when we're just at the start of the show. Like,
yeah, but I also brought up one of the songs that you didn't include, which is
okay, that's
arguably
fair.
way better
Right.
than. Oh, he said that's
Like
fair. He gave me the point.
Half an objection. I rescind my
objection. He took it down from a full objection. Okay, fine. We'll end it right there. Cody, what's your verdict?
I have a question.
Okay.
Is Desperado not on this top list? Is that what we're saying?
That is correct.
Yeah. So Cody,
I'm enacting. Go ahead.
I'm going to say, just in a broad summary of this list, these are not necessarily my favorite songs, but the songs that I think are most top 500.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Some say there's a saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. I'm enacting a veto.
Fucking hell. This backfired so hard.
I'm enacting a veto. I will have 9 carrying through. There are some songs later, but for this phrase that was just uttered, the harder they fall is gone. The harder they come will not be on this list at all. Tequila Sunrise will be the next one, and Desperado by the Eagles will be the next one in front of Tequila Sunrise. Thank you.
Man.
What I will say is I think that song is fine. I don't hate it at all. My grandma's favorite song is Tequila Sunrise from the Eagles. And like Desperado could easily be my favorite. Best top 10, I don't know if I can give you. I think Tequila Sunrise is a very strong song, a very relaxing song, and Desperado by the Eagles is top tier. And I know it's not an overall, like, I could have put that song way higher on this list as long as my vetoes go, but I think if you follow Tequila Sunrise and Desperado by each other, that's a very good back and forth between the two. So I think it's safe to put them next to each other on this list. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Desperado was a tough cut off of the list just because of how much sentimental value there is for me. But I'm glad as an Eagles fan that it's on here.
I was just saying, if he doesn't say anything, my veto stays in my pocket and we just move on. But you brought up Desperado, and now that I know it's not there, I had to put Desperado on. Desperado is one of, like, I absolutely, if you've never heard of it, heard them live do Desperado, like, or acoustic, is just.
You could arguably say that it's. I would say that it's better than Night Swimming. It's a better piano ballad. That's kind of
Yeah. Oh yeah, hands down. This is fun.
I made
I'm
a
happy.
Mistake. All right. I will shut my mouth from now on when it comes. Don't finger gun me. All right, let's move on before I bury myself any deeper to 494 and 493. La Vie en Rose by Edith Piaf and Bad Bad Leroy Brown by Jim Croce. So, La Vie en Rose by Edith Piaf. It's one of the most covered songs of all time for a reason. The lusciousness of the melody, the main melody even, is just gorgeous. Edith Piaf's delivery, she sounds incredible, and the mixing of where everything is in the recording is so perfect. You hear every instrument so clearly, especially that clarinet, which just really is the anchor of this song. It's a beautiful piece with gorgeous lyrics when you look them up in English. And as I said, it's one of the most covered songs of all time for a reason. Brooklyn.
Jim Croce is an incredible storyteller, and this song in particular is one of the best chord progressions in like folk pop. It's 5 chords, moves up, and then it moves down, and that's all it does for the entirety. And it lets the song focus on the character that they're building in Leroy Brown. The harmonies that are in this, I know I'm going to say that a lot, but you think about that opening verse. South side of Chicago is the baddest part of town, and if you go down there, you better must beware of a man named Leroy Brown. And then just how like that call and answer in the chorus creates so much tension that when they get into like the badder than old King Kong, there's a sense of relief, and it refreshes. You go back into it. It's just, yeah. This fits the American folk section of the list, and I think that's my stamp on it.
All right. No disrespect to Jim Croce, Upper Darby Zone. Proud to have him as part of the Delco, the lineup of Delco musicians. Easily top 5 of them. Bad Bad Leroy Brown is not as good as You Don't Mess Around with Jim, and they're essentially the same song. Structurally, storytelling-wise, and they're pretty much the same, but You Don't Mess Around with Jim is better. The structure is better. The melody is better. The production is better. Bad Bad Leroy Brown, great song. Not quite top 500 worthy.
So if we're making this list pre-2000, I think you have an argument. The problem is that her vocals have not aged as well as they probably should have. It's just like this. It's trilling for the sake of trilling, and it like that quality in a vocalist would later kind of be. It's like kind of looked down upon, like whenever Christina Aguilera added all the flair to her voices, but not necessarily the same thing. In terms of the beat, this isn't anything different from what we'd see in like the opening of like a Disney cartoon. It's beautiful, but there is nothing about it that makes it stand out because it's that wall of sound.
I would just like to really quickly throw out there that we cannot throw just one person out for trilling when we give people like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey a pass for that all the time.
They do it effectively. She's just trilling. She just holds it though. She's using that trill to sustain a note, not to give more emotion to the story that she's telling or the melody that she's producing. But I'll end there.
All right, I'll end there as well, even though I still stand by it. All right, Cody, you have a French classic and an American folk classic.
I'm really upset what I'm about to do because it kind of messes up a flow that I would love on my own playlist. Listen, you ever say something bad about Jim Croce again? I'll have
disrespect to Jim Croce.
Listen, you don't tug on Superman's cape and you don't spit in the wind. Yeah, Don't Mess Around with Jim. If that's not on this list, I agree. I kind of like Don't Mess Around with Jim more. But Bad Leroy Brown is like an all-timer for me. I love Jim Croce's voice from this song. That's like, there's some other ones. I'm hoping the other one gets on there. But like, I think this song is beautiful. I think if it is covered by a lot of other people, you may have picked somebody that covered it, because I don't know if it translates as well anymore. Personally, I think her vocals don't age as well. And like, dude, if you sit around and listen to Bad Leroy Brown and have like a frown on your face, you might just not need to be in that room anymore, because this song is great. Plus, this is like a personal connection. This is so nostalgia. This is so family. I listened to Jim Croce like my entire life growing up, so it's gonna be real hard anytime to. I feel like I'm voting against Var a lot tonight, but
3-1.
A lot of show to go. A lot of show.
You're about to watch a lot of Canadian. You might watch Poggy Beach and listen to some music from Canada. But yeah, we got a lot of episodes.
I will say, I love Jim Croce. As I said, I grew up in the town adjacent to where he grew up, so he's always been a big part of my life. I love Bad Leroy Brown. I just happen to have some other Jim Croce songs that will be coming up later on the list. Thank you very much.
Perfect. If that's then this will swing back, because it's going to be hard to beat him.
Oh, well.
Oh my God, what are we doing, guys? I understand, but I know what's coming. I've seen this list. Why are we doing this? There's a song
Cody, I am kind of for this reason.
There is a song I am dumbfounded by all of you. I am so confused.
Well, you may get your wish. Let's see if it's in the next section for 492 and 491 on my own from Les Miserables. Versus Layla, the acoustic version, specifically by Eric Clapton.
I couldn't pair one of these other dipshit songs. God dang, guys.
Brooklyn, I think it's your turn to start.
I think so. So the 70s version of Layla by Derek at the Dominoes is this mad rush of just like screaming guitar solos and this very wailing. This acoustic version done for the 1994 MTV Unplugged show is a great like swanky sort of bluesy vibe. It gives a song time to breathe with like the light piano in there, the bass line that is just staying throughout. He's able to keep that same chord progression and have it mean something. Like, what do you do when you get lonely? It's a lot better in this one. The solo at the end is a little more clean. We don't have that entire section that was in the original. I just think it's a very like coffee house jazz song, and I think this is the example to push.
Okay, so this is going to be the only song from a musical that makes this list. And I think that this song should make this list solely on the songwriting itself. However, Frances is a fantastic vocalist. I went with this version specifically because I think that her voice and like the color of her voice really adds to the emotional resonance of the lyrics and the instrumentation. But it's just one of those songs that just like a lot of people just like really can relate to. We've all had that moment where we're alone and we're not with the one person that we really want and they're with someone else. And especially when it's raining. I've definitely had that moment, and it is a heartbreaking moment, which is captured so beautifully by the lyrics and the instrumentation. I think I just really love oboe, I'm realizing. I mean, a clarinet. Because the clarinet in this also is just like a beautiful addition to this song. So I think it's probably the best song written for a musical ever. There's a reason why every woman from the age of 16 to 28 has this in their repertoire book if they're an alto.
Okay, so two things that I would like to bring up in my rebuttal. sorry, I'm gonna move that down to one thing. What separates this song from every other kind of I Want song? Lyrically, I can understand your argument, but from a musical production standpoint, this is stuff that would just later get later copied on and rehashed. There isn't really like a musical interlude to kind of make it stand out from everything else.
It's copied on and rehashed because it is the best version. It is the version that everyone looks to when they're writing their version of a sad I Want song. The reason that this one stands above every one of the other ones is the strength of the songwriting. Just the way that the rhymes and words interweave with one another. It's effortless, it's seamless, and once again, the emotional resonance, it's something that everyone can relate to. It's not an I Want song where someone wants like this grand, like dream. It's something that everyone wants at some point in their life. But let's see if Cody thinks or agrees with me.
And he didn't say anything bad about Layla. So.
So I was confused when I got this because I was like, musical songs. This is going to make this a lot more challenging if these are available.
It's going to be the only one that pops up, unfortunately.
Oh, this is it.
This is the only one that's going to make the list official.
Wow. Okay. That changes a little bit. Okay, then that makes me fair. So there's no other musical songs
that will make the list. No.
Okay. Well, then that makes.
I had two other ones on mine.
Okay. On My Own, I don't know if this is the best version of On My Own. It's good. I think they're a lot close. Nothing from the movie. Let's not get crazy. But cast recordings, I think. It has been covered and has been done. But I guess if you're going to pick one, that's the correct one. As somebody that's heard Layla a lot, I've never heard the acoustic version, I think, of Layla. And it was great overall. But this makes it fair since there's no other musicals. I'm putting On My Own ahead of Layla. For the sake of Les Mis is my favorite musical, and if this is the only song to represent it, but
you theater kids,
listen, there's somebody that is going to get brutally murdered on this call when this song comes up of whoever picked it. I don't know what. But...
I already have a feeling I know what song it is now. All right, but On My Own is getting the higher spot in this section. So that's 492 and 491. All right, let's move on to the next. Oh, Cody's going to hate that these are the two that are up against each other. I can already hear.
Watch me have to pull out another veto just to do it.
I Second That Emotion by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles versus Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder.
I regret
all right.
doing this show.
So, I Second That Emotion by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. First of all, Smokey Robinson. Second of all, this is one of those ones where the lyrics are just, they're simple, but the way that they're written, it's so good. It's almost like Shakespearean prose. And just the instrumentation in this, those horns are so fantastic. They are just in the right spot at the right time. But also just like the interplay between Smokey and the Miracles is just a perfectly balanced piece. And once again, Smokey Robinson has the voice of an angel. I already see the smirk on Brooklyn's face.
So so yeah, Andrew was talking about Smokey Robinson and the vocals, but in terms of Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder, this is a S tier song in terms of musicianship and just how it ebbs and flows with building the tension. You have the horns in the intro, then the drum kit comes in, and then you have Stevie with one of the best opening lyrics ever. Music is a world within itself with a language we all understand. Not even the best parts of the song. We get into that unison solo where it's the trumpet, the sax, the bass, the guitar playing the same solo all throughout. This is a tricky solo to perform live and for even everybody to just be on beat with everything. It has a whimsical kind of nature for Stevie's that is coherent throughout. Like you have that, like I forget what it's called, but the little ying thing kind of in the chorus, and it just gives it a carnival kind of feel. I forget what it's called.
Let the record show that my opponent can't even name the correct instrument for his song. Okay.
Like the eighth heard instrument.
So, Sir Duke lyrically starts to get clunky in the second half. It starts to become fully checklist, where he just starts rattling off the names of people. Yes, they are highly influential and important to music, which is why they're part of the song. But he just starts rolling them off, and not in a way that's necessarily creative.
So if you actually go into the entirety of the second verse, those are the members of the band, and then Sir Duke is the king of them. So it's that's what this song is about. I disagree with the clunkiness of the second verse. What I will say is clunky though is your song in terms of like the chorus and kind of the big send off. The title of the song as well. I second that emotion, because other than that, it's a pretty lovey dovey song. But then you just kill all that momentum that you have with like. It's a kind of a dorky line. I second that emotion. This is something that you would say at city council. Like, oh,
exactly. It's a play on words.
But it kills the emotion that's carrying with it. Yeah. Smokey Robinson does have a nice voice though, but there would be a nicer voice that would come on later with kind of the same qualities. That will.
Who are you? Is this someone that we'll talk about later?
Not this episode, but we'll be talking about them. We'll be inevitably.
Okay, you better bring up that argument again when that happens.
Okay.
All right, Cody.
As the show's going, I'm thinking I'm getting punked by one of these songs. Like this. One of these songs was really not on the list, and it's going to be something else, and I'm going to have no bearing on. Like, I'm going to be like, what? Okay, cool. It's not there, but I'll listen to it real fast. But I don't think that's the case. I think this song is actually on somebody's list and in the 200s. So I'm really confused by both of you and on your music taste. On that note, this pairing is disrespectful to a large degree. Like, you take like two of these and then like the rest is gonna be a mess. I think I agree and disagree with both things that you guys said. I think overall, but Sir Duke, one, totally transparent. I did not know that was the name really of the song Sir Duke. I just knew the beat. Like I've heard that my entire life and I didn't really know. Sir Duke is a bop. Sir Duke wins. I second that emotion. If it was paired against basically a lot of things on these lists, sure. But you guys decided to be anarchist and don't have any basing. This is rough.
Okay. So that means I was hoping you'd give me more time. But basically, I second that emotion by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles is going to be number 490, and Sir Duke is going to be 489.
And Brooklyn had that 299. Oof, rough.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we're going to move on to the one that I think Cody may have been hinting at throughout. And if that's the case, I'm in trouble. Super Love by Charlie XCX versus All the Young Dudes by Mott the Hoople. So, it's Brooklyn's turn to go first. I'm going to die.
So, All the Young Dudes has a number.
It's already gone.
Has a number of great qualities for a top 500 song. It has a great intro in that guitar lick, and that it's just different enough from what the key of the song is. There's a couple a little like sharps and flats that they add to it. The chorus in this is great. It has a great sing-along aspect. All the young dudes carry the news. The more that you think about the song and the more that you listen to the song, this is basically a younger version of Queen that has kind of a punk angle to it, and that's just in the way that they deliver their song. I think it's a great example of a light rock sing-along.
Super Love by Charlie XCX captures the emotion of being so high on being in love that it creates this kind of cacophonous hyper pop energy to it. I think that Charlie XCX's delivery on this, it's so earnest, and that earnestness balanced just with that hyperactivity of the instrumentation, it's really great. The hand claps in this are perfectly timed. That bass line slaps if you're paying attention to that. That is a tight ass bass line. It just creates this sugary euphoria that young people feel when they are in love. And I think that the lyrics capture that really, really well.
So, this I believe a theme has already started within the show. In that Andrew picks songs that are like, I guess, interesting lyrically, but the production is just meh. It's a meh cheese board. The synth is just like something that, like, honestly, you'd hear from David Guetta. Like the fast kind of chop. The fast kind of choppy delivery. There is a Charlie XCX song that belongs on here. It is not this. You talk about that, like that sugary kind of pop euphoria. There are two other artists that do that better: Carly Rae Jepsen and Dua Lipa. And I think that's enough of this genre to talk about.
First of all, Carly Rae Jepsen and Dua Lipa, no disrespect to them, they're great pop artists, but they're not the same kind of pop. This is hyper pop. And first of all, this is a song written by All the Young Dudes is a song written by David Bowie, and you can tell it's written by David Bowie because this is outside of the range of the vocalist on this version of the recording. He is straining so hard to hit some of these vocals that it just sounds really bad because of that.
So if people strain, if they strain and they don't give that vocal quality of like, let me exceed my emotions in this.
You can do that. Beyonce's done that. Adele has done that. This guy is more focused on hitting the note correctly than delivering the emotion behind the note, giving a strain more power.
The argument that I would put beside that is that Biz Markie, Just a Friend, is the reason that song is so incredible is because of the little like mess up in the chorus.
Right, because he's focused on the emotion and not the notes.
Okay. I don't think there's much about that.
All right, Cody.
Okay. I just want to ask a question. I'm new to this. You guys are new to doing this concept. Can we all admit, like, sometimes when you start new things, like, you make mistakes and you screw things up? Okay. Oh, yeah. So I made a mistake. And I would love to, if this is me on a golf course and I hit a ball and I shanked it all the way left, I would ask for what's called a mulligan, correct?
Okay.
Correct.
Now that I
And
know
this
how
is
this
episode
show
1.
is working, I'm asking for a mulligan, and I would love to put back on The Harder They Come. And I would like to put it there, but I would love Tequila Sunrise higher. And I would love to use my first veto and put Super Love by Charlie XCX completely off this list because it has no place whatsoever. And then replace it with Desperado and put it higher than all the young dudes.
Oh my god!
I think
Super
we'll call this a breakfast ball. This is a breakfast ball. Yeah.
I won't do this again anymore of the show now that I'm based on matchups. But I was still getting my bearings. I kind of acted, so I don't want to like take my veto away, like and say, "Ooh, I get 10 again." So I will use it this episode.
You'll still have 9 moving forward. Yeah.
Right. So that's why I wanted, but I messed up the order, and I won't do this anymore going forward since it's a new show. But Super Love was one of the most egregious things that have ever hit my ears, and it should not be on this list. Thank you.
God damn
I
it!
had to ask a young person at my job, like, is this really her name? And they said yes. I said, oh, okay. And I said, you pronounce this XCX? And they're like, yes. I said, oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, she should just not make music. Okay.
Ow.
So I was
Okay,
really
let me
surprised
just-
this came from you. That's crazy.
I
thought Brooklyn was just doing it to mess with me.
I really like that song a lot, genuinely. All right. Okay, fine. I lose again.
You still lose. It's just later in the show. All right.
Oh
Next
god.
matchup?
Don't what okay. No, I'm moving
I really
on.
did like
All the young dudes.
all the young dudes. Great. Good
Yeah.
choice.
Okay, once again, I actually really do like all the young dudes a lot.
I also need to let out a confession that I meant to say out during the time, but I was singing "Careless Whisper" the entire all day today.
Okay.
It's a
Now that we've got that
We're
out
a
of
bunch
the
of
way,
fake hoes on this one.
I want to win. I don't want to have to listen to whatever playlist makes me.
Dude,
All right. I'm in trouble. All right. So songs that are going to be 486 and 485. I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston versus Springsteen by Eric Church. All right. Let's talk about one of Whitney Houston's most underappreciated songs, I Have Nothing. First of all, Whitney Houston's power on this song is outrageous. Like the control that she has while singing all of these like notes, especially like the higher notes, incredible. She was one of the best vocalists of all time. But I love the build of this song, the way that it just kind of like crescendos into that explosive like end. It's such a great buildup. Yeah, it's just one of those ones where the power and the emotion just completely takes over. Brooklyn.
okay. So for Springsteen by Eric Church, I think this is a great example of songwriters getting a chance to write about their mentors and their kind of their idols, and I think this is a good example of that kind of coming to fruition. This is Eric Church's best delivery on a song. The bridge in this is great, where he just has that like low drum and like the and you can feel the energy moving back and forth, and then you have the big kind of crescendo of the open. Like you think about me, you think about 17. It makes you like want to check out. It makes you want to like listen to Bruce Springsteen. And like how he kind of interprets him as a character in the song. Yeah. Twang is hard to do in country, and Eric Church does it kind of flawlessly.
Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is that Mr. Misunderstood and Record Year are better Eric Church songs. Also, I'd like to point out the absurd irony that this man, who takes every chance that he can to slander Bruce Springsteen, praises a song that's essentially praising the works of Bruce Springsteen and his emotional effect on people through his songs. I would just like to let the record show that is weak.
I believe that speaks to the quality of the song. And given my other criticisms of country in particular, in terms of twang and how it can hit and miss, my thing with I Have Nothing is that for a top 500 songs, is that songs often have a lot of categories. For Whitney Houston, she absolutely deserves two: a slow song and a fast song. It's a very obvious slow song, and I think this is a tough cut.
I'd like to argue the slow song, the fast song, and the crescendo song.
Oh, the other one doesn't have a crescendo. Like, isn't that an entire meme? Like, isn't that part of the song, the meme?
Not the same kind of crescendo. Let's move over to Cody.
A crescendo is a crescendo. You start small and you go louder. It's a triangle without a fucking side.
Okay. I have a lot of thoughts. One, from this exact same album of Springsteen was a song that I got hammered drunk to numerous called Drink in My Hand. Kind of my anthem for my college. Got completely shit-faced a lot on it, and try it next time you're out. It's fun. Second, when getting these two songs, I said, well, Brar had to pick Springsteen by Eric Church because Brooklyn hates Springsteen. There's no way Springsteen by Eric Church is getting picked. I have a draw. I'm going to drop some bombs here. I Have Nothing is my favorite Whitney Houston song. I like this more than the other song. I think the other song's really good. I think maybe vocally talented wise, I think that song's probably better. But the way she goes and like keeps going after, like she like kind of rests and then keeps. It's insane. It's one of the best songs that I played it at work today, and I felt like if some customer pulled up, they thought I was insane. So this is really not a contest at all, but these two would never have been in my pairing connection either. I'm like, oh, this one and this one. Okay. But Have Nothing, meant. And I think there are 3 Whitney Houston songs that should make this list.
I think all 3 of them made it.
Okay, perfect.
If I'm thinking of the right one.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Because unless you have the upbeat wrong, then okay. That would be interesting.
Yep. Well, we'll find out definitely later on as we go on to our penultimate picks, our number 484 and our 483. One More Time by Daft Punk versus When the Night Feels My Song by Brooklyn. Say this guy's name.
Bedouin Soundclash.
Thank you. Brooklyn, I believe you're starting us off with this one.
So this is a beginning of Canadiana picks. This is an excellent job in terms of layering and just how they're able to utilize the band. The lead vocal in this has a very kind of breathy vocal, so they have it paired with the guitar. And then when you get into that hey, 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 and then the bass comes in, and it's so impactful whenever it happens. Also, it's kind of a predecessor in terms of like gang vocals, like the chorus in itself, When the Night Feels My Song, I'll Be Home. It's another great sing-along song that uses a cappella effectively.
One More Time by Daft Punk is one of the greatest electronica / house songs ever. And I would like to basically clarify this by saying not necessarily dance song, but house electronica. The buildup is so great. Just the way that those horns like start kind of like really soft and then like they start to build and crescendo and explode into this incredible drop. The multi-tracked vocoder vocals add like this really cool, like shiny, chromatic extra layer to the song. And then when it breaks down into into like the more soft and like the slow part, it's just there to build up the drop again. It basically takes you on an emotional roller coaster ride. And it's basically just like the song that you put on when you're pumping yourself up to go out for an incredible night on the town.
I'm going to steal your argument from earlier in the show. This is not a top 5 Daft Punk song. Top 10, sure, but not top 5. This has the next episode symptom where it's a good first half and then they just cut and paste. It does good that first time in terms of building tension, but on re-listen it loses quality. And I would even argue that like the horns kind of get a little bit grinding at times, but that is more so because I just want this song higher.
What is this Kumbaya shit doing on my list? Like, I'm sorry, this sounds like something that your Sunday school would do when they're having like a night in the church. It just really saccharine, kind of bland, safe, catchy enough that people can sing along to it. But there's nothing really that puts it over the edge of other songs that we have put lower on this list. Got anything else to say before we move on to Cody? Because
no.
All right, Cody.
What an interesting matchup. I find One More Time very annoying, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like the beat, but it lasts for a long time. Like, I'm just like, I've never heard the other song before today or before this week when I started listening to it. I didn't hate it. So that's kind of my answer. Sorry.
Oh my god!
Like if there was something extra to Daft Punk, like I'd be like okay, but I was sitting there the whole time. And it's like it takes me back to a bad time of like going to clubs and stuff and just hearing the same electronic just bullshit. Like, can we move this song on because it stays the same time the entire time? And if this is the song that you need to pump you up before you go out on a night on the town, your night on the town is going to be like chicken wings in bed by 8:30. Like this is not going to get you jacked for the rest of the night.
That's not my weekend. That's my weekdays.
Oh, gotcha. This is what he pumps in the car when he gets in the car to go to the job. He's like, one more.
That's pretty much exactly what I do. for my 3:30 a.m. drives to work.
God, that's so gross. Get another job. Don't you? I've said that to you for like 4 years now. I hate your job.
All right. So When the Night Feels My Song being the higher one at 483 versus One More Time being at 484. As we move into our final competition.
Which is just wild.
I remember seeing what was happening and messaging Brooklyn going, we are ending on a high note. Message in a Bottle by The Police versus Don't Stop Believin' by Journey.
You spelled believing wrong.
Believin'.
Believin'?
Oh, fucking hell. Okay.
We saw nothing.
Our audio listeners are going to be furious.
Believin'. All right. I still spelled it wrong, but I don't care anymore. I'm doing it to spite you now. Okay, Message in a Bottle.
Maybe you don't know how to spell it.
Maybe I don't. Message in a Bottle by the Police. That guitar line is one of the most instantaneously catchy, recognizable guitar licks in a song ever. Sting's vocals on this, man, they capture a desperation that it's just hard to compare to a lot of other songs. But that melody, and especially that hook, that I'll send an SOS to the world, I'll send an SOS to the world, and it actually builds and builds and builds just in that hook itself, in that little capsule of time. It's incredible. how they're able to do that in just like that little bit of time. It's just a structurally sound song with a topic that not a lot of people generally frame this way. It's just an incredibly creative and tight song.
I can't wait for the rebuttals on this one. So Don't Stop Believing. I can hear the audience now. Brooklyn, this song is played to death. But listen, Cody and audience, to what I'm about to tell you. Think back to the first time that you heard the song. That is a quality that I believe is deserving of a top 500 song. How that first time listen gets you. The first time you heard that guitar solo, where he's progressively getting faster and faster, and it's mind blowing. It's incredible. Steve Perry's vocals are not only incredible in terms of range. He's able to tell a story that everybody can just sing along. Another great quality for a top 500 song. I think this is the slot for 80s pop and 80s like glam pop in particular.
First of all, this is not glam pop. This is arena rock. So you don't even have the genre down.
Glam arena, but tomato.
No, this is more like tomato and orange. So
there's still fruits.
Fuck you. So Don't Stop Believing. It's very good. It's very good. And I will admit, the first time I heard this song, you're right, it did have that experience on me. But just because I look in the mirror for the first time in the day and go, wow, I look great, doesn't mean that I actually do. The song has got like the most basic of 4-chord structures, like the kind that people make fun of. It's so basic in that structure. Mine's a lot more dense. Mine's a lot more complicated and tricky in its instrumentation. And I think it's a lot more interesting the way that it's just like a rock solid groove that this creates. So
you mentioned that this is an interesting kind of song for the Police and how intricate it is. Alex Summers does that a lot in his songs. This is an okay record, but there are other Police songs that build tension better and have a more intricate guitar intro that will deserve its spot later on down the road. The only other thing that I would say that this is missing is Stuart Copeland's precision and kind of execution that you hear on other songs. You don't hear this. This is a very kind of generic punk rock beat.
To be fair, Stuart Copeland is the drummer, just so everyone knows.
Yes, he is the drummer.
I was talking about. I will make that a fair like statement. Cody, top us off for the end of the episode.
Brooklyn did an interesting strategy. When I saw "Don't Stop Believing" for the first time, I said, "What? Come on!" Glee killed this song. So many covers killed this song. Everything. And then he did an interesting strategy where he said, take yourself back to the first time you heard the song. He didn't know what damage he was unleashing when he told me to do that, because what he didn't know that on November 6th, 2006, a game came out for the PlayStation 2. It was called Guitar Hero 2. And one of the first songs that you play on that thing is Message in a Bottle by the Police. And the first time playing that was a damn good time. It still hits. I still think I got carpal tunnel from that game.
Me too.
Message in a Bottle for the Police wins. But great to end the episode on both these, because I still think if you take back the overplay of Don't Stop Believing, that song, if you get the right setting of people and you just hear the opening, you can get an entire bar to fully sing that song. So,
okay, let me just finalize. SJ, are you RNY. Okay, so with that, the first 20 songs on our list have been locked. And in order from 500 to 481, they are Night Swimming by REM, Money by Pink Floyd, Slide by Missy Elliott, 497, Careless Whisper by George Michael, also Wham, for those people who are about to yell at me in the comments. 496, The Harder They Come by Jimmy Cliff, making a surprise return to the list. 495, Tequila Sunrise by the Eagles. 494, La Vie en Rose by Edith Piaf. 493, Bad Bad Leroy Brown by Jim Croce. 492, Layla, the acoustic version by Eric Clapton. 491, On My Own from the musical Les Miserables. 490, I Second That Emotion by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. 489, Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder. 488, All the Young Dudes by Mott the Hoople. 487, Desperado by the Eagles.
That's a damn good choice, people.
486, Springsteen by Eric Church. 485, I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. 484, One More Time by Daft Punk.
Oh my God, One More Time is better than nothing.
483, When the Night Feels My Song by Bedouin Sound Clash.
Bedouin Sound Clash.
Bedouin Sound Clash.
Oh, this is going to be a fun theme.
482, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. And 481, Message in a Bottle by The Police. I think that this was a strong way to start off this list.
Yeah, we had a couple like pillars, I guess, of the music world to kind of build that foundation for what the rest of the list is going to be.
And Cody has already used one of his 10 vetoes in the first.
I was surprised. I figured he was going to kind of play the field, maybe take a ball and see how the pitchers were throwing, but.
Dude, I saw that curveball drop that hang right bare middle, and it was going to the seats. When I saw freaking Charlie XCX, I said, bye-bye.
hit barrel.
I swore that you gave me 19 songs and you just threw that one in there to mess with me.
I like that song a lot. But with that, Brooklyn and I are already tied at 5-5. So things are about to get spicy.
It's almost like it's a coin flip, and it's going to be pretty balanced until the very end.
Cody, I want your last thoughts on this section of the list that we have created.
Actually, no. I want to add a question to that. What was your favorite song? Regardless of the order, yes. What was your favorite song in this section?
First time listen or just favorite song of the list?
Favorite song overall. Of the list.
Yeah.
That one's tough because I think I will answer. I think I am excited because this is already way more wild than I thought it was going to be, and has some surprising choices from each one of you. If you would have placed all these songs on the list and told me to pick everybody's song, Springsteen from Eric Church I would have never picked for Brooklyn, and I would have never picked the Charlie XCX song from thing. If I had to pick my absolute favorite song from it, I would probably I would probably go with I Had Nothing. If I'm being completely, I think my second would be Tequila Sunrise. I think overall, those are two just absolute banger of songs. So good choice already, and this is just getting started.
Yeah, we are just getting started. Cody has already gotten the playlist for next episode.
I haven't even looked at the songs yet, so I'm excited.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Cody. This next one may be a stronger selection than the one that we have currently.
I'm excited.
Well, we'll see if that excitement continues on within the next episode of Off of Our Stones. Brooklyn, any last thoughts before we sign off?
Drive safely, like you always should.
Drive off the side of the road. I don't care.
Keep on rocking, guys.